session or is this an Ishtagoshi session?
Well, I guess it can be both. Ishkagoshti, we can discuss all our devotional lives and all how it's going, and we can discuss some aspects of the philosophy too. Some Q&A. Huh?
Actually,
Just give
Prabhu,
me a
the thing
moment.
is,
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
The thing is, tomorrow was supposed to be Ishtagoshti by Prahlad Prabhu. So, like now, since that you conducted it now, I think it had to be like rescheduled again to the next week, like Prahlad Prabhu's session. So, I thought it was Q&A.
Well,
That's why I was still confused.
I mean, if Prahlad Prabhu doesn't want to give tomorrow because I gave Ishtagoshti now, that's fine too. Me, I just wanted to
No, no, no.
get your
Like,
association.
and I was just confused about this. Now, it's not that Prahlad Prabhu wanted to or not. I was just saying that, like, in general, I thought there was no class on Saturday, but on Sunday. But then today was Saturday, and last week it was different. So it's because of my classes schedule, right? I just want to like somehow make sure that I have attendance till this particular day, and on the day you're taking, I want to skip classes. Otherwise, I won't be able to attend. Somehow today I got
Well,
holiday.
actually, this is a one-time thing for the moment. I don't think I'll be maintaining this every week, although it could be good. But this week I have time, so that's why I did like that. Just give me a second. I'm gonna close the door
Okay.
of the bathroom. Okay, sorry about this. My children taking their evening bath. So yes, so I'm in Australia still. I've been here for quite some time now. So with Chaitanya Lila Prabhu and Karunamai Mataji, we try to do some preaching program and all. They have 3 boys. I have 1 boy, 1 girl, so that's a total of 5 children in the house. You can imagine a bit. It's a lot of movement and all. So sometimes
Hare Krishna Prabhu, your voice is not coming. I don't know if it's just me, but
No. I was going to say the same thing. We can't hear you.
Same. We can't hear Nimai Prabhu.
okay, can you hear now?
yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Now it's clear.
Okay, so unfortunately, this microphone is starting to have some issue. It turns off automatically. It happened also previous session. Okay, so can you hear me now? Lower quality?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate because this microphone is supposed to be powered by the camera. No, it's not being powered by the camera. It turns off automatically. It's a good microphone. Now the quality must have diminished. I think there's some issue with it. Anyway, is this quality of microphone okay? Or
Yes, Prabhu, it's actually good. There is
okay,
no. It doesn't seem like there's big difference.
all right, good. Okay, great. So thank you all. Thank you so much for being very much alive in the group, the ISKM Vaishnava Sangha group. This is a blessing upon all of us. I think this group, it's very, very nice. Very happy to see many of you that are very enthusiastic. I'd like to especially thank Sami Prabhu and Dimitri Prabhu for trying to manage and guide the newcomers into the group. You're daily active there. So can who's in charge of doing that database of sadhana? Who's got that chart going on? There's you're accumulating data. Pawan Prabhu has done that. Huh? So anybody can talk a little bit about it?
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhu. Also, Amai Prabhu
Yes.
has done a lot about it.
I think Pawan Prabhu is Patit Pawan Prabhu is here.
Is he here now?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Pranam Krishna Prabhupada.
Is he here now?
Yes,
Pawan
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dana
Hare Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhu, Dharma Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhu.
Can you speak
Yes,
a little
Prabhu.
bit about that table you're doing?
Yes, actually, I joined from my mobile. If somebody has opened in his laptop, I can explain if they share the screen.
Can you open screen share? I couldn't.
Yeah. How to share this for a second? Let me
Amit
see.
Prabhu, do you have it?
1 second.
Yes, yes, yes.
Opening permissions or settings, reported use, column platform. Settings. I don't see how I can give the permission to someone. Wait. Anyone knows this Google Meet? How it's possible? Or call control. Wait. Settings, call control.
1 second.
Share window. I don't know how to make someone an admin. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I guess anybody can share. Okay.
Yeah, this is the one.
So Prabhu, this is sadhana chart that I prepared. In this, we can see all the devotees' name, and it is given day one, day wise chart. So we can use it for the whole month. We can see the progress of devotee who was regularly chanting in the morning, and how many rounds they are chanting, and which book they have read, and their score. Same with the lecture, like how much time they listen the lecture, and of which speaker they listen. So according to that, I given the marks also. So, if you see a number of round chanting column B to E, there we can see that if someone is chanting before 6:30, we are giving into 5. Means if someone chanting 16 rounds in the morning before 6:30, they will get like 16 into 5 mark score. And same thing. And if someone is chanting after 10 o'clock in the morning, they will not get into multiplication score. They will get only that if they chant in 16 round, they will get 16 score only.
Okay,
So
but why does it
multiplication.
get so little? Why like 10 to 9 p.m. is
So
like only times one?
it is for devotee those who are not doing service in the temple. It is only
I
for
understand, but okay, let's say
yeah
I chant 16 rounds before 6:30 a.m. I get times 5, which is what
yeah
180, right?
yeah
So, but then if I chant between 10 to 9 p.m., I
yeah
get only 16, 4 times
yeah.
lower. Why is that so less?
Well, no, we can change it. This is just I made a format. If you want, I can change it. Change it.
Yeah, I think okay, Brahma Muhurta actually it's before sunrise, not before 6:30.
Yeah.
Brahma Muhurta period is 1.5 hour before sunrise. There's a lot. So I think during Brahma Muhurta they should be okay. Maybe you can give more. Maybe you can give like 1.5, something like that, But I think that all the other hours should be same. Not that it diminishes like that, because there's no backup by Shastra, right? It says actually
Okay.
in the Shishashtaka prayer that there's no rules and regulations,
Yes.
chanting Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna is free. It's always potent. It's about the quality of the chanting, actually, if one is chanting attentively. Because I might be up at 5 a.m. and I'm chanting my rounds, but my left hand is holding TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So then what kind of chanting is this? But maybe evening time, I'm coming back from work or something, and somehow or other I don't do anything else but chanting. Actually, these rounds are better. So we should try to do the scoring system according to at least some quotation, some guidelines of Srila Prabhupada, right?
Yes.
So Prabhupada definitely said that chanting in the Brahma Muhurta is better.
Mm.
So maybe you can do like times 2 or times 1.5. I don't think there should be such a huge gap between 6:30 a.m. and evening time. Okay,
Okay.
that's one thing you can change. And okay, so that's for chanting Hare Krishna. because
Yeah.
because chanting Hare Krishna, this is the special. I mean, this is the mercy for all of us. We're very fallen, so that's supposed to be meant to be freed of any rules and regulations. That's the main idea. Whereas every other processes has got so many. If you do something wrong, there's a hiccup. But chanting Hare Krishna has got no such thing. So anyway.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Now, Sami Prabhu said, Prahlad Prabhu told to put like this so that devotees wake up early. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying Brahma Muhurta is important, but then waking up early like 6:30 a.m., 8:30, 10 to 9. I'll speak with Prahlad Prabhu because, 8 is already very late,
Yeah.
There's no, if you wake up at 7:30, there shouldn't be any point for you. It should be chastisement for you.
Yes, Prabhu.
So that's not, actually waking up after sunrise, that's a no-go. This shouldn't happen at all. That shouldn't happen. We should all wake up before sunrise. Sunrise, of course, different country have got different rules. Like Sami Prabhu would never be able to wake up some time of the year. Or never go to sleep. But the point is, we should wake up early, right? We should, the latest, I don't know, 4:30, 5 a.m. That should be the latest. Most Mangalarti in temples, they do 5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m., right? I think in places like northern countries like Finland, I guess it might even be earlier, like 4:15 maybe. Do you know the Mangalarti in the capital of Finland?
Here they do 7:30.
Oh, very high standard.
Yes, Prabhu. They do only like once, twice a week. They're not open every day, the temple.
But generally, when they do it, what time is it?
Earliest I've seen is 6:30 in the summers, but winter time they do later. So sunrise is at 9:30 right now.
All right, very bad example. Sorry for this example. In Montreal, the city I was born in, they do at 4:15 because winter time, summertime, the sun is up so early. So yeah, so definitely there's something there for waking up early, Brahma Muhurta. So we should give some points for that if you chant in Brahma Muhurta. Otherwise, the rest of the day is pretty much the same thing. 6:30 is too late already. Before 6:30, also that's not that's not good, because if I wake up at 5:30 or 6 and I start chanting 3 rounds and I get times 5, That's, put back the chart. I'll see for the reading.
So I think Nimai Prabhu left and again joined.
Yeah. Okay, and then you have got this book reading. Okay, book name, time in minutes, score. Okay.
Yeah. Like a score I given here, like if somebody reading 15 minutes, they will get only 5 score, and if someone is chanting 30, then they will get 10. Then 45, they will get 45 marks, and after 60 or 60 more minutes, they will get 20 score.
Okay.
Same with the lectures, same marking.
So you say someone who it's can you repeat that again?
Amit Prabhu, go to day chart, not a month chart. Yeah, like if someone is reading only 5 minutes or 5 to 50 minutes, they are reading, they will get only 5 score. If someone is chanting more than 15 to 30 minutes, they will get 10 marks, and 30 to 45 minutes they will get 15, and 45 to 60 minutes or 60 minutes more, they will get 20 marks.
Okay. All right. So and what about the ISKM or Prabhupada lecture? How does the scoring go?
Same thing, yeah.
So which one, if you calculate, let's say I chant 60 minutes Hare Krishna Japa, or I read 60-minute books, which one will get more points?
Chanting, right? The chanting is different than the book reading and the lecture.
Yeah, chanting is not time related.
Yes.
So book reading 1 hour means 20 points. Hearing lectures 1 hour means 20 points.
Yeah,
And
but chanting. Okay, let's say chanting an average of 8 minutes per round. Yeah.
yes,
So
Prabhu.
let's say I chant 1 hour. That's what. That's maybe okay. Let's say 8 rounds in 1 hour. Okay.
Yes.
So okay, so that 8 rounds. Let's say I chant that in the during the day, not in the Brahma Muhurta. Okay. So eight rounds during the day. Let's say during the day would be only maybe times two. I don't know how you want to do it. You know, maybe times two. Let's
Yes.
see. So someone who read a book for 1 hour, how he will get? He will get 20 points, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what do you think now? What should be the higher score? Reading the book or chanting?
Uh, Prabhu, it is chanting first,
You
right?
think chanting should be higher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chanting.
So I think for that maybe we can put reading higher because
Okay.
chanting 16 rounds is Prabhupada said at least we're human beings, you know. So it's the bare minimum of chanting.
Uh, Chanting that you said before Brahma Muhurat, during the Brahma Muhurat, they
Can
will
be
get
more.
more marks.
Yeah.
After that, they will get all the same mark, right?
Uh, uh.
Same points.
Yeah, so maybe like the chanting you can do times 2 during the day, and maybe Brahma Muhurta can be times 3, times 4, something like that, you know.
Okay.
Of course, according to Shastra, it's times 100.
Yeah.
But if you do, I mean, if you do this, then the whole scoring system will be very much right.
So
If you
actually, I got this chart. I got a chart from ISKCON who they decide the initiation on this chart. That's why I just take that chart and just modified it something over the our.
well, this chart is for motivation. We should not
Yeah.
judge initiation
No,
on that.
no.
That's some
It
other
is for.
speculation.
Yeah, yeah, sir.
Initiation is Prabhupada said it, right? 16 rounds, 4 principles, 6 months, and you observe by temple president. That's like that, Charts, I don't know much because even this we do a scoring system, but how certain are we that we are actually properly pointing? It's more of a motivating game, It's not to be taken too
Yes,
seriously.
yes, sir.
So and okay, so I think the reading, if I read 1 hour, I should get more points than chanting 1 hour. Okay, because
Okay.
reading means someone is serious about understanding the philosophy. He wants to make further progress, right? We have that verse that Prabhupada explains the distinction between the Madhyamadikari and actually the Kanishta. He's not purposefully studying, right? So that's 2274 Madhya Lila. I'll be sharing now, so I think it's going to overlap yours. So Prabhupada here, that's how he translates this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is 11.247. Prabhupada translates it like that. A Prakrita or materialistic devotee does not purposefully study the Shastra and try to understand the actual standard of pure devotional service. Consequently, he does not show proper respect to advanced devotees. He may, however, follow the regulative principles learned from his spiritual master, from his family who worships the deity. He is to be considered on the material platform, although he's trying to advance in devotional service. Such a person is a Bhaktipraya neophyte devotee or Bhaktabhas, for he is little enlightened by Vaishnava philosophy. So although he's little enlightened, he chants 16 rounds, Most of
Yes.
them, at least the neophyte in ISKCON, they chant 16 rounds. So, but the one who purposefully studies Shastra, he's actually on his way to become a Madhyamadikari, or he is already a Madhyamadikari. So it's more, of course, the 16 round is a must, but studying Shastra is very important. So I think you can calculate accordingly, that
Okay,
how,
Prabhu.
yeah.
Should the maximum time be higher?
Sorry, Prabhu?
Should the maximum time be higher? Because now it's 1 hour, and if one reads 3 hours or 4 hours, so should
Yeah,
it?
of course, that would be higher. My point is this: is that someone who chants Hare Krishna 1 hour, someone who reads 1
Yes.
hour, you calculate more or less. Let's say Hare Krishna 1 hour means 8 rounds, okay, and chanting Hare Krishna 1. So then you add like that,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
yeah, if you chant 2 hours, I don't know. Do you want to be doing staggering effect, like it multiplied by 1.5? I don't know. It's up to you.
No,
I leave it.
chanting that you said it is according to the Brahma Muhurt, like they will get points, and other rest of the day they will get no points, right?
I mean, no, the points can be there. You can do times 2 for normal day. Like it's
Okay,
a point system, right? But Brahma Muhurta should be like more, right? At least twice
yeah,
as much as
okay,
normal day like that.
okay,
No, it's not chanting time. It's the rounds, Dimitri Prabhu. Dimitri Prabhu is asking, do we to calculate chanting time? It's not about chanting time. It's about the rounds. But to understand whether we make more points by reading or by chanting, I said more or less, 8 rounds per hour. It's just to tally, because you cannot
okay,
calculate reading by rounds, right?
okay.
Okay.
Prahlad Prabhu said that we should add service also. There should be one column for service done. Like if one does any video
Yeah,
editing
weekly.
like this.
Yeah, you can do a column for prasadam, right? Boga offering,
Yes,
like
Prabhu.
that. Deity worship. If you do arti, if you do Mangal arti, that should be there, right? If you do Tulasi arti, that should be there. If you do Sandhya arti, the Gora arti in the evening, that should be there. Things like that, right?
Hmm.
So you all see them more or less. And anyway, if devotee get inspired by that, then that's great. That's good.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, Mangala Aarti like in the home or the temple?
Yeah, home is fine. People don't have access to temple, right? They
Yeah,
should transform their house into a temple. That's the idea. This chart
okay,
should try to motivate that, because now we are not at the stage of having big institution and all. So the point when we get new bhaktas and all is to encourage them to transform their house into a temple. That should be the idea.
okay,
So the living room should become more and more like a temple room. There should be altar. There should be offerings throughout the day, and Prabhupada bhajan playing in the house always, burning incense like that, so that the whole atmosphere becomes spiritualized. This is how the movement is going to spread, really. That people make temples in their house. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came and he said that every town and village, my holy name, there will be temples and all. It's mainly through this means that everybody's house will become a temple, just like in Vedic culture used to be. Basically, any brahmana's house used to be a temple. So similarly, we have to encourage the new bhaktas to do that, because now they come to us, they join this ISKM Vaishnava Sangha, and then they ask, is there a temple in Uganda? Is there a temple in some country that we won't have temple until 1 or 2 decades later, maybe? So what to do? So he has to somehow or other make his place into a temple, his house into a temple. That's the important thing. You should buy paintings, try to print paintings, put it all over the wall, and like that it becomes more and more a spiritual atmosphere. So try to put points towards this too.
okay.
um hanging a new Krishna picture. Of course, if you put too many columns, then it's kind of
Yeah, yeah.
overwhelming. So maybe you can generalize everything into one thing, like
Okay,
making the house more Krishna conscious. Then you get how many points. Okay, I bought a new picture of Krishna, that much point. I set up an altar, we can share the picture, that much point, like that. Not all too much detail, otherwise the chart will look too confusing. But you think about a way to incorporate that. Okay.
okay, Prabhu.
Yes. Pawan Prabhu, where are you from? May I know?
Mumbai.
Mumbai. Oh, okay. So you met Sundar Gopal Prabhu when he went, right? Is it?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I got initiation in Pondicherry when
Oh,
Sundar Prabhu was. Yeah,
what is
that's
your name?
that's Patila
Initiated name?
Pawan Das. Patila
Oh,
Pawan
yeah.
Das.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, I know. Atita Pavana Prabhu. Yes. Sorry. So you should change your name. This is very
Yeah,
confusing.
yeah. I gone Google. I don't know how to change it there.
Okay. I think it's linked to your Google
Google
account.
account. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. So now you are in Mumbai at the moment?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. And with me, Amay Prabhu is there and Vikas Prabhu. They are both helping me to do the service here.
And what is the development there? What are your
Yesterday, I spoke with the Sundar Kumar Prabhu, and he said that to find a place there and at least start a Mangla Aarti weekly.
Yeah, good. Once a
And
week, right? Arti, like that.
yeah, yes,
I
Prabhu.
mean, group Mangal Arti.
Yeah, group Mangalati. And he said two devotees there, like near to Mumbai. They came from they are from Singapore. So he told me to meet them and see what you can do with them. Like you can do food prasadam distribution or like house program. To try to talk with them and see what you can do.
Ah, that's good. Nice. And but do you work? You have a job, right? You're married, Prabhu?
Yes. No, no. I'm not married, but I'm doing the job.
You're doing job. Are
Yeah.
you taking care of your parents?
Yeah, but my father and my sister is there.
Okay, so you live together with them, yeah?
Yeah,
So I believe you contribute to the household income.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, yes. So how many hours a day do you work?
It is like 10 to 11 hours,
Wow. And 5 days or 6 days?
5 days.
5 days. Very tough, huh? What do you do, bro?
I'm an accountant, so that's how I know the Excel. That's how I prepare the job.
Yeah. So now is the best accounting of your life you're doing.
Yeah,
Wow. Accounting for 10 and 11 hours a day. Wow. So many numbers in your head, huh, bro?
but still, if somebody asking me like randomly how much sum of this number, I cannot answer.
You should start to do accounting for verses.
Yeah,
You get all the numbers of the verses in your head like that. You know?
yes, well,
Wow. So okay. Well, one if I can give one advice is try to look for maybe possibility to diminish your workload. You know, um,
yes,
I don't know. Of course, maybe in the same company, if you ask to work less, sometimes they might not react so well. But it's very hard to advance spiritually when we are
yeah, bro.
immersed in material activities for 10 hours a day. It's super hard,
Yeah,
you know?
actually, when Sundar Prabhu was there, I like almost I quit my job, but then because of my loans that I had to work right now, so I'm trying to as quickly as possible to clear my loans, and then I will become full time devotee. That's
This is
how
the house that you have now, is it? Or
it is
student?
not mine. What, bro?
Loans for house or for study?
No loans, like personal loans that I took before become coming to Krishna consciousness. I
Okay.
took it. Yeah.
All right. But okay, yeah, but the thing is this, even if you have some debts, better go easy on the workload than trying to do everything fast and then, because first you should protect your consciousness,
Yes.
loans that will be paid when it will be paid. It's not that your hard work is the only factor at play, right?
No problem. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you should not think that if I work harder my loans will disappear faster. That's a miscalculation actually, because you don't know what can happen. What if
Yes, bro.
something happens and you need more loans, right? The karma doesn't work. What happens to us and our activities are not directly linked to one another,
Yes.
right? We tend to think that what I'm doing now is going to affect what I get, but that's a misconception actually. So try to see if there's a chance to reduce. I don't know if with your current company or whatever, or maybe because when I used to work full time, I was also thinking, let me try to get as much money fast as possible, and I practically destroyed my spiritual life at that time, and it was very bad. And then I decided to work part time. And when I saw that I could subsist and maintain my family by working only 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, Then I was okay. I was like, I get enough. I was not going to buy a house for sure with that kind of income, but I had enough to maintain my family, more than enough actually. So I thought, why not? And the rest of the time I was using for doing DT worship at home, or doing, some videos or reading like that, So try to look towards, because I don't think you'll be finishing paying those loans in 6 months, half a year like that, right?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a question of years, probably, maybe, right?
Yeah, at first, it is like my work is work from home. So at first, I thought I will go to Pondicherry and there I will do my work and as well I do service in the temple. But now they have started working from office, so I have to go to office also.
Mm.
That's otherwise. At first, I thought I will go to Pondicherry and stay there and work from there and give some money to temple and home also.
Mm.
That was a
Yeah.
plan.
Yes. So, but then you have, they call you back, right? During
Yeah,
COVID time, you could work from home. Is it?
yeah, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Now,
So
just like this week, they started working from office.
only this week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's why, because if we engage too much into this fruitive activity, it's sort of spoil our Krishna conscious advancement. So there's this verse here. This is 555. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, of course, this is not devotees, of course, they have inquired, but one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant action. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear. And as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body. So fruitive activity is condemned throughout all the Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava Shastra, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. It's because your mind becomes colored karmatmaka, right? So you have all this
yes,
the contamination of the three modes that are there. So you see. Um, yeah. So anyway, so this karmic activity it's bondage actually. So the way, of course, to surrender, we have to pray, my Lord, please help me surrender further, and not do drastic changes too fast, but try to see the arrangement of the Lord. But still, since the injunction is there to not do too much, then you should try to reduce, because according to nectar of instruction, right, we should not overdo it. These
yeah,
verses, right? 5 things that spoil our devotional service. So one of the things is to endeavor too much for mundane things.
yeah.
So 10 hours a day, 5 days a week,
Mm.
this is intense. So I would consider that overdoing it for the
Yeah,
for
bro.
the service. So this is here. So one's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities. Eating more than necessary. We all have experience how if you eat a lot, you have first of all, if you eat a lot and you sleep too much, what happens? There's a lot of pressure on the genital, and it's possible that the genital become disturbed during sleep. So that's one thing. And of course, if you would become overweight, it's another trouble. Or collecting more funds than required. Yeah, because if you have money, then you think about how to use it, and that distracts the mind, and you start to ponder upon sense gratification, and your mind becomes absorbed in this, making plans for sense gratification, and then you lose your enthusiasm. Over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. So if, of course, paying off your debt is definitely a difficult task, so there should not be too much over endeavoring towards that side. Although it should be done, you've somehow other indebted yourself, so you have to clear those debts.
Yes.
But still, it should be done with a cool head, not with a bull mentality. That let me do it everything so fast and work very very hard, because you're gonna feel the influence of material nature very very heavy on your shoulder. And another thing, when you go there now in the office 10 hours, who's gonna speak with you about Krishna, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna bring you to this, isn't it? Talking unnecessarily about money,
Unnecessary.
right?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
They- They'll talk to you about the cricket match, about politics, about so many things. So that's
Yeah.
disturbing. And you're cut up. That's one of the thing. You're cut, right? Creative activity places you in situation where you're kind of cut in a position that you don't want to be in, right? You're there with your coworker, you don't like it, you have to do this, and then all these people are talking to you. So this is entanglement. This is the spirit soul is put into a situation where he cannot express his Krishna consciousness. He's forced to serve mundane person, to hear mundane talks, to see mundane things, to associate with the other sex. That means the material energy is surrounding you, isn't it? So
Yes.
you have to sort of break free of that more and more. So definitely diminishing those hours, would play well for you. Then, okay, practicing the rules and regulations, all of that. And also that brings you to this, right? Associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. You cannot go there and simply have a downcast face the whole time, right? You have to speak with people, you
Yeah.
have to smile, you have to laugh. So somehow or other the contamination is there, isn't it? And then you have to bring your lunch, right?
So actually, last week that you told us that we are having war against materialistic people. So I'm not bringing my lunch there. So I'm not eating there. Because they
Oh,
are
okay.
eating non-vegetarian food and not prasadam actually. So I'm
Yeah.
not bringing lunch. I'm only eating prasadam at home and I'm doing fasting there.
Oh, you're doing fasting
Yeah.
whole day?
Yeah.
Can't you just bring prashadam and go outside and have lunch outside?
Yeah, I saw only 2 days I went there, but I saw that I cannot do that because I have to go to the canteen and eat there only. So and in the canteen they are serving non-vegetarian food, so I cannot do
No,
it.
but how is that? You cannot just bring your lunch box and go take a walk in a nearby park or something? That's not possible?
Actually, my job timing is in the evening, not in the morning. So five
Night.
thirty, yeah, night, yeah. Yes.
What are your working hours?
Nine first it is like 5:30 to 2:30, but now it is 7:30 p.m. to 4:30 a.m.
Why is there a need to do accounting? You're dealing with America, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Krishna.
So
Wow.
I know Sundar Gopal Prabhu told me that you find a daytime job because
Yes,
at
yes.
time, yeah, it
This
will
is
affect it. Yeah.
what is night for all beings is a day for the that verse, right? You're
Yeah.
living during the time of the demons. Ooh. Wow, that's very tough. For the mind. Krishna has
Yeah,
created
bro.
day and night, sun and moon, so that the mind can get a break from the other, isn't it? We like
Yes.
we like scorching heat a little bit, and then nice soothing moonlight like that. But if your day is always too much in the dark, too much in the moon, it's gonna affect. Definitely, it's affecting your mind. And plus,
Yeah.
what time do you chant your rounds?
In the morning after my working hours, I'm chanting.
Hmm.
Some chanting I do in the morning. Then when I wake up in the day.
No, there's no reason why Krishna will not want to help you, right?
Yeah.
Um, Dimitri Prabhu is saying, Srila Prabhupada said that whatever we do after 10 p.m. is just fighting with sleep. It's ignorance time. Yeah. I mean, towards the end of the day when we're about to go to sleep, it's very hard to stay focused and to do proper chanting and all. No, you should definitely try to find some new job.
Yeah, bro.
There's no doubt about that. Already 10 hours was too much.
Actually, I was not leaving this job because it is a work from home. So I get to do my devotion activities
There you
also.
go. Krishna is helping you to get detached now that you have to go to the office.
Yeah. So
Now, how long you been working at that company?
now it's 1.5 year.
1.5. Okay. No, you can find a new job. That will be easy. I think you can just tell your new employer that, look, they put me on night shift and I cannot do that. I have my sadhana and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you know new actually devotees, they can find job quite easily because people want responsible people. That's what they want. And if you show them that, I've got my sadhana, I chant my 60, I've got some strict principles, I'm a good they will see that, okay, this person is not lazy, wake up at 4 a.m. and so on. That's good. So I think it won't be a problem for you to find a new job, so you should go towards that. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, let's go see the comment section if there's anything. Satyam Prabhu saying Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I am also doing a full-time job, Prabhu. I can relate with everything you said, Prabhu. Yes. Again, then he says, non-devotees association affect my consciousness a lot. It is relatively more hard to be always enthusiastic and focused. Not more hard, it is impossible to be always enthusiastic. I myself have trouble being always enthusiastic, and I know some full-time devotees that have trouble being always enthusiastic, and they're full-time. So what to speak of someone who's working? It's impossible to always be enthusiastic. Always be enthusiastic means you're always doing the preaching work. So if you're stopping, there's no question of the enthusiasm being there, right? I'm also trying for other alternatives where I can have less working hours. But at least by Krishna's mercy, I have a day shift and cook and carry my prasadam box to my office. So this is Satyam Sharma. Saikarti saying, sometimes I want to bomb these university, school, and big industries, Prabhu. Yeah, well, bombs are coming anyway. This is not our field of activity, right? We're not the ones who to do this bombing. We should bomb them with Prabhupada books. That's the best bomb. Devotees, sometimes they say that they plant some bombs, like they put Prabhupada book in a library, or they put Prabhupada book in a, planting spiritual bombs. Someone will find one day. So, yes, Okay, then maybe we can continue a bit more on this topic of, work and all. So, definitely try to minimize one's working hours and whatever one should. Actually, all of you, of course, in India, the mentality is different. You see, in the West, the parents, they will not necessarily expect the children to maintain them. It's a very individualistic, self-centered, arrangement of society. So we do not feel this pressure to maintain the parents generally. That's in most cases. So if I was not married, I would definitely not work, because you don't have a wife, you don't have children to maintain. So practically speaking, you can just join full time, and that's definitely what I would do. I would simply join full time. If I was now without a wife, without children, I'd be going maybe to Puducherry, or I'd be going to Singapore, or to Philippines, some place like that, and I'll be full time. Then you don't have to work with these people, because you see, like, separation from devotees, living outside devotee association should be intolerable. Actually, we should not be able to continue, living without sadhu sangha. Of course, you're doing it online, but you see, let me show you this verse here. 8:248. So, one moment. Madhya Lila, chapter 8, text 248. Okay. This is spoken by, it's a question. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is questioning Ramananda Rai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, of all kinds of distress, what is the most painful? Shri Ramananda Rai replied, apart from separation from the devotee of Krishna, I know of no unbearable happiness. So you see how the pure devotee, unbearable happiness means he can, unbearable unhappiness. So that means that any type of unhappiness he can bear, he can withstand. But separation from the Lord's devotee, he cannot. That's too much, you know. So we shouldn't be willing to live our life away from the devotees. You know, we should try to always be with the devotees and associate with them. That the life in the temple is centered around the service, around Krishna, whereas the life at home is centered around the wife, basically. But since you don't have wife, I don't know what your life is centered around. Right? You work, but you don't have wife. So where's the center? So because in Grihastha Ashram it says that the wife is the center point, right? She's the mother, children are after her, she's the beauty in the house, right? She's the one who makes the whole thing going on. So if there's no wife, because Prabhupada said Griha, the house is where the wife is. Griha is not a house. If there's no wife in the house, that's not really Griha, you know. So where the wife is, that is where the house is. So yeah, and to maintain, there was one quote that really got me to surrender. Actually, it was a class that I was hearing, and from this class, it's sort of the last push, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back. It's what convinced me really to become full-time again. I'm trying to find it though. Okay, I think this is a good. That's like a letter. This is not the quote I'm looking for, but I think we can read this. Okay, let me see. Okay, sorry. Just one moment. This quote is not exactly the one I'm looking for. I'll look for the other one. But this is a good example of someone who's a devotee, and he's not necessarily attached to material possessions, but he's attached to the house. Oh, it's not a letter. It's actually a verse. 332:40. Purport. Who would like to read?
Prabhu, can I read?
Yes, one moment. Sure. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, one more. Okay. It is not to be instructed to persons who are too greedy and too attached to family life, nor to persons who are non-devotees and who are envious of the devotees and of the personality of Godhead. Okay. Yes. Persons who are always planning to do harm to other living entities are not eligible to understand Krishna consciousness and cannot enter into the realm of transcendental loving service to the Lord. Also, there are so-called disciples who become submissive to a spiritual master most artificially, with an ulterior motive. They also cannot understand what Krishna consciousness or devotional service is. Persons who, due to being initiated by another sect of religious faith, do not find devotional service as a common platform for approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot understand Krishna consciousness. They have experienced. Okay,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
it's true. Yes, true. Okay, Krishna. We have experienced that some students come to join us, but because of being biased in some particular type of faith, they leave our camp and become lost in the wilderness. Actually, Krishna consciousness is not a sectarian religious faith. It is a teaching process for understanding the Supreme Lord and our relationship with Him. Anyone can join this movement without prejudice, but unfortunately, there are persons who feel differently. It is better, therefore, not to instruct the science of Krishna consciousness to such persons.
Right.
Generally, generally, materialistic persons are after some name, fame, and material gain. So, if someone takes to Krishna consciousness for these reasons, he will never be able to understand this philosophy.
This is a
Such
very
person,
important purport, you see, because what is the general opposition that we face when we expose the gurus of ISKCON? The general opposition is this: is that Prabhu, they are also making so many devotees, they also distributing so many books, they also bring so many people to the temple, isn't it? This is what they generally say. Like, how many people have you brought to the temple? They are bringing hundreds, like that. But here, Prabhupada clearly says, you see, he's saying that also there are so-called disciples who become submissive to a spiritual master most artificially. Just like in ISKCON, you quote Prabhupada and it goes over their head most of the time, isn't it? Like Prabhupada says something directly, crystal clear, black on white, and no, Prabhu, you're finding fault. No, so it's artificial. Their so-called surrender and show of being a devotee is artificial. You're not accepting the words of the Acharya. It's only a play. And why is it? You have an ulterior motive. That's all. So these people are so-called disciples. And they also cannot understand what Krishna consciousness or devotional service is. So what's the point? You come into the movement, you put on tilak, dhoti and all. Okay, you come to Sunday feast and speak big, big words, but you'll not be able to understand. So what are you actually doing? You're simply a disturbance. Persons who, due to being initiated by another sect of religious faith, do not find devotional service as the common platform or approaching. But this is like all the Hindus, maybe some Christians also. They have got this attachment, and then, oh, why you speak against this, like that. We have experienced that some students come join us, but because of being biased in some particular type of faith, they leave our camp and become lost in the wilderness. Actually, Krishna consciousness is not a sectarian religious faith. It is a teaching, and then anyone can join this movement without prejudice, but unfortunately, there are persons who feel differently. It is better, therefore, not to instruct the science of Krishna consciousness to such persons. What is Prabhupada saying here? He's speaking about devotees, or actual so-called devotees, that they come to the movement, but they've got some particular type of faith or something. And Prabhupada said, actually, we shouldn't have preached to those persons at all. You see? So it's not about bringing people into the temple. It's about to bring quality devotees into the temple. Non-quality devotees will simply create a disturbance. They will promote the swelling of a dead branch of the parampara. And then here, generally materialistic persons are after some name, fame, and material gain. So if someone takes to Krishna consciousness for these reasons, he will never be able to understand the philosophy. So therefore, such person, if you attract them with the name, with the fame, with the material gain, just like now they've got some huge list of salary in ISKCON, you know that? I'll show you this. Okay, see this. What is that? Emil Beca, ISKCON of California, Inc. Okay, ISKCON managers, their names, position, salary. I don't know how old is that. I don't know what is this, but look at this. Okay, Ramesh Patel Rupanuga at the rate of 800 a month. Venkatesh Bhakti at the rate of 400 a month. Artul Villar at the rate of 2,500 a month. All this 500 a month. Jill Clayton, Jayashri at the rate of 386 per month, and an apartment in a building owned by CEO. ISKCON managers, their names, position, salary, according to the Chapter 11 bankruptcy disclosure statement. Okay, and here you have ISKCON California, 350 cash, free rent, free food. Okay, free food, free rent. All right, that can be there, but okay, some more cash. So you have some big ones there too. These are small things. Okay, so practically, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust International, this was almost unheard of in Prabhupada's time. Like salaries, this is very small actually. There's employees 139 wages in salary year 2001, 1.4 million pounds in 2011, only in salary. Can you imagine? Here, California, whatever. Anyway, so this is just one thing that I found. There was another thing I found. there is this original disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I forgot her name. She has got a very man-looking face, a very strong jaw. She's still alive. So her wage is 60,000 US dollars a year. That's a good amount, right? And plus, she's probably got free accommodations and of course free food at the temple. So that's all. How you got, because then you serve money. That's all. Then you serve money. That's your job. You go to work. You don't serve Krishna. You have no faith that Krishna is going to be able to maintain you, even though you don't have a fixed salary like that. And if you attract with this, then what kind of devotee you're going to be making? Mhm. So they, just like ISKCON Philippines, even if you're a bhakta, uninitiated bhakta, you just come and sweep the floor every day, you get a salary. So they have a big congregation, much bigger than our ISKM. They get hundreds of people in the festival and all, but all these people are paid people. And like one of the lady who leads the kirtan there, big kirtaniya during festival and Sunday, and then the Facebook page is filled with her on bikini in the beach and kissing her boyfriend and this and that and going on, So that's the type of devotees that are there, or all the big so-called kirtaniyas of ISKCON. Now you see their bhajans online, right? That black lady, that other guy with the beard, the two bhakti bros. It's a clique of like hippies, and they're the one sitting down there and having big so-called kirtan, and people just think that they're big devotees just because they can sing well. Yeah, they've got musical talents, but Prabhupada clearly said, he said, we're not musicians. Our business is not to make music. But that's what it has become now. Now ISKCON is a nice social club. People go there on Sunday. They have got some position. They praise one another. Self-praising, mutual praising society. They like that. Everybody equal. You're good, I'm good too, right? You're good, I'm good too. There's no higher, there's no lower. Everybody's fine. Everybody's good. Don't find fault. Don't find fault in me. I won't find fault in you. No hierarchy. So that's why Prabhupada warns us. Don't try to preach to such people, actually. Leave them alone. Even though they'll come to the temple, even though they'll wear tilak and dhoti, better not preach to them. Because here, you see, if some name, fame, or material gain, so if someone takes to Krishna consciousness for these reasons, he will never be able to understand the philosophy. Then, okay, you were here. You can continue, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu,
Hello.
I'm sorry. Just yes, Prabhu, I'm here. I was just commenting. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
From where? Okay. Generally, materialistic persons are after some name, fame, and material gain. So, if someone takes to Krishna consciousness for these reasons, he will never be able to understand this philosophy. Such persons take to religious principles as a social decoration. They
This
admit
is very important.
themselves.
Sorry again, I'm cutting you. Sorry, Prabhu. So
No
you see
problem,
that
Prabhu. No problem,
such
Prabhu.
persons take to religious principles as a social decoration. It's sort of a social status. I'm a good person. I'm a God person, And then they proudly maybe wear their tilak and their dhoti, but it's all for showing themselves as being very pious. Okay, continue.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay. They admit themselves into some cultural institution for the sake of name only, especially in this age. Such persons also cannot understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Even if one is not greedy for material possessions but is too attached to family life, he also cannot understand Krishna consciousness.
You see, so even if one
Superficially, such
might not want to accumulate a lot of material goods, he might be living maybe quite simply at home, but if he's too attached to family life, he also cannot understand Krishna consciousness. So the attachment to wife and children will actually spoil one's advancement in Krishna consciousness. So it's not that simply accepting the external symptoms of a devotee will make one advance spiritually. One has to have a change of heart, and that is manifested by detachment from everything material, and that includes also the material aspect of the family, not the spiritual aspect. Spiritual aspect of the family, he should be very attached to it. What does that mean? Helping the wife and children become Krishna conscious, performing devotional service with them. That is proper attachment. But materially, that here are my cute children, here's my wife, my faithful wife, and all that. Of course, it cannot be artificially renounced or act as if the attachment is not there. But if it's too much dwelled upon, it will spoil the spiritual advancement. And that's why that brahmacharya ashram is so much praised, because you skip that. There's no question of struggling with this later on. He also cannot understand Krishna consciousness. Okay, superficially.
Superficially, such persons are not very greedy for material possessions, but they are too attached to wife, children, and family improvement. When a person is not contaminated by the above mentioned faults, yet at the ultimate issue is not interested in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or if he is a non-devotee, he also cannot understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness.
So basically, this is the karmis and the yogi, or the karmis and the jnanis, who are disguised as devotees, right? Because all of this, the one who's too much attached to family life, he's also, somehow a bit of a karmi. If he's too much greedy for name and fame and this is all karmi. But then, if he's also not all the above fault, but still he's not very interested in the service, then he's a jnani. He's in between. He has renounced material life, but he's not accepting spiritual life. So he's also to be considered a non-devotee. And he also cannot understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So these people, all these people that Prabhupada says, all these people, they can be wearing tilak and wearing dhoti. All of them. They can be in the movement under the guise of devotees. So, yeah, this is one thing. Now we're going to go to that that class that I was saying that really pushed me to become full-time again. Okay. Okay. We can start from a long class, but I mean, for reading, it's a bit long, but it's very important. I feel like it is coming. Yeah, okay.
Where, Prabhu?
Okay, from here.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Durashya. They're thinking that by material adjustments we can be happy. Durashya ye bahir artha maninaha. These karmis, they have got a hope which will never be fulfilled. That is called durasha. Asha means hope and durasha means which will never be successful. So materialistic persons, the karmis, they're trying to be happy by material adjustments that has been described in the Bhagavata Durashaya. This kind of hope is never to be fulfilled, it will never be successful. But the karmis, they think they will be successful. They are struggling very hard. So Durasha ye bahir artha mananinaha. No, sorry. Maninaha. Right? Maninaha. How? Now bahir artha. Bahihi. Bahihi. Prabhu, what is that one? How do you pronounce this one?
Yeah,
It's
this
given a
is
question mark.
the N with the wave on pragnya.
Okay, prajna or external energy or the material energy. The material energy is called external energy. So that is called bahihi. Bahihi means external.
Yeah, so you see, so any type of fruitive activities to try to fix something by another material work is actually never going to be successful. Even if the devotee is okay, he's not full time and he's working, it's not to say condemned, but in some places in the Bhagavatam it is condemned to keep on working hard, So because even though you might get your earnings and all, this is not what actually is going to make you happy, So therefore, when we keep working, we are still associating with this path of the karmis to some degree. Okay. So then the Nate vidu svartagatim hi vishnum durashya yabahir arthamanina andhayat andhai rupaniyamanas te pisha tantram murudam nibaddha. Okay. Can continue.
Okay, yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Because they're thinking so, tied up by the rules and regulations of the stringent laws of material nature, but they're thinking. They're called karmis. So they cannot be shanta. By material activities, you cannot be happy or peaceful. That is not possible. That is being explained here. That yat tat sattva gunam swacham shantam. Sattva guna. You have to come to the platform of the mode of goodness, and still it is to be purified. That is called Vasudeva platform or transcendental platform, as it is explained in the Bhagavad. In the Bhagavad, okay. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Uh, Bhagavad Gita 7.19. That time, when you come to that platform, you will see everything godly. Vasudeva Sarvam. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Ishopanishad mantra 1. Everything God consciousness. That is the 1 minute. That is the platform of Shanti. Beyond that or before that, you cannot have. Either
So
you become.
just see how high the platform of Shanti is. Prabhupada quotes this Vasudeva Sarvamiti Mahatma Sudurlabha verse to explain the platform of Shanti. So Shanti, peace of heart and peace of mind, is not something cheap to achieve. Everybody wants it. Nobody wants to be disturbed mentally, but we all are, even devotees, to some degree, of course, less than the karmis. But why are we still having some disturbances? Because we are still touched by the above mentioned thing that we're trying to arrange according to material activities. We're trying to be happy or peaceful somehow by material arrangement instead of fully engaging in the service of the Lord. So only the devotee who sees Vasudeva Sarvamiti, he can actually attain Shanti. So what to speak of those who are still engaging in fruitive activity? So Biyata you cannot have. Either you become karmi or become jnani or you become yogi. There's no question of Shanti. That is not possible. Therefore Chaitanya Charitamrita says that Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ateva Shanta. A Krishna Bhakta, a devotee of Lord Krishna, a person who is fully Krishna conscious, he has no such desire. Okay, so I want to come to here.
Prabhu, I actually have a doubt regarding what you explained before. Can I ask right now or maybe after at the end?
Yeah, I think you continue reading first and then we'll see.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay. They go to temple, they go to church for begging something. I'm distressed. I have no money. Kindly give me some money. I'm hungry. Give me my daily bread. Give me something. Give me. So long we are on the platform of give me, you will never be happy. You will get it if you go to God and ask Him, God, give me my daily bread. So it is not very difficult for God to give you bread. He's giving bread to everyone. Why not to you? He's giving bread to the elephants. He's giving bread to the ants. And what you can eat. That is not a very difficult thing. But you should go to God not for begging something, but for giving something. That is Vasudeva stage. Then you will get Shanti. When you will go to God not for begging, uh, not for begging material happiness or material liberation, mukti, bhukti, mukti, and not for any jugglery, magic things, just like yogi show some magic. So if you want all these things, then you will never get happiness. You will be troubled. Therefore, a devotee Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's standard of devotion, nothing to possess, nadanam, najanam, nasundarim, kavitamba, jagadisha kamaye, nothing to possess. Nadanam, najanam, okay. Bhakti means our relationship with God is bhakti, giving service. God is great and we are most insignificant servant of God. Our business is to give service to God. When you come to this stage, then there will be Shanti. Otherwise, there is no possibility of Shanti. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Nishkama Ateva Shanta. Krishna Bhakta has no desire. Why shall he desire? He knows Krishna is there. Whatever I need, he will supply. And Krishna says, Yoga Shemam Vahami Aham Tesham Nitya Biyuktanam.
So
Those
you
who are.
see, whatever I need, he will supply. That's an important it should be a catchy phrase that, okay, Prabhupada here is saying that whatever we need, Krishna will be providing. So what is the need of my providing separately? And then continue.
Yes, Prabhu. Those who are constantly engaged in my service, I take care of how to supply their necessities of life. Then why shall I disbelieve Krishna if I am Krishna conscious? Let me do my duty as servant of Krishna, and whatever necessities are required, he will arrange for them. If you become confident about this thing and completely engage yourself in Krishna consciousness, That is a stage of Shanta.
Yeah. So you see, so if one is simply thinking about how to preach, he knows that everything will come. Money issue, counting cents and dollars, that is the business of those who are, um, still contaminated with the ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. I think that I'm the doer. I'm the one who's actually bringing the money and all. So, but Krishna says, you just go on with your business and I'll give you everything that you need. So then I was hearing this class and I was okay. But then, I'm a grihasta, I've got a family. So what about that, right? Because I've got a family, this is material entanglement. So I have to do some material work. Since I had this material desire, I'm not pure devotee. Therefore, there must be material work too, right? So that was my thinking. Then okay, continue. So okay, Krishna says,
Yes, Prabhu.
stage of Santa, completely dependent. Avashyara kibe Krishna Vishvasa Palena. I surrender to Krishna. Krishna says, Sarvatarman Pityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. So I give up everything, even my livelihood. Okay, you read here. So I give up
Yes,
everything.
Prabhu. So I give up everything, even my livelihood I give up. Krishna says Sarva Dharman. So if I give up everything that I may be doubtful, then how things will go on? How I shall live if give it? No, you shall live if you believe in Krishna. Rakshishyati iti vishvasa palanam. If okay. If Krishna says that I shall give you protection, so why shall I not believe it? This is called surrender, full surrender. That Krishna let me engage myself in Krishna's service as Krishna orders.
So you
Sarvadharman
see,
parityaja.
so that's very, very opposite to what the salary page that I show you, right? The giving salary to devotees is actually, first of all, it's hampering their development of faith in Krishna. Because the whole point is to give up this fruitive activity, this so-called assurance of material gain, constant income, monthly income, being transferred in my bank account. This is my means of livelihood. That aspect of thinking that I'm the worker, I'm the maintainer of myself and my family has to diminish. And one has to surrender more and more to on Krishna. So if I'm blocking by giving salary, I'm a authority in ISKCON and I'm giving salary to every single, not that some cases it can happen. Even in Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada gave salary to a very few devotees. I was there, but it was something very rare. Most devotee, there was no question of being paid by ISKCON. No. So, and then Grihasta family who somehow or other decided to surrender further, then somehow or other they would see how Krishna was providing, But still, I was hearing this, I was thinking brahmachari most of it. I was thinking, okay, the brahmachari is fully surrendered, and obviously he's eating in the temple, sleeping in the temple, okay, But then continue reading.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. If we take this assurance from Krishna, then there is Shanti. Otherwise, there is no Shanti. This is called Sattvagunam. Swacham. Okay, Swacham. Okay. So I am taking to this worship of deity, but at the same time, let me have something privately so that in case of my distress, if Krishna fails to help me, this money will help me.
So
That
you
is,
see how Prabhupada has extracted the doubt from the minds of those who are not full-time devotees. Prabhupada has put it into words here. This is actually what's going on in the mind. It's a fact. I was like this too. I mean, I knew, okay, I was worshiping the deity at home and I was working because I had these exact words in my mind that, okay, in case Krishna is not there, of course Prabhupada is putting it bluntly, but this is what it means. No, you need insurance, you need that, you need these things, you need that. That means that I'm not trusting Krishna, I'm not fully having faith in that maintain me. Now one can say, well, maybe I'm not having faith in myself, right? Maybe I'm not qualified to be maintained by Krishna. That's another thing, okay? But here, you can continue.
yes, Prabhu. Okay. That is not Swacham. Swacham means clear. That is not, therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advises. Okay. So, of course, we are not so advanced, but we have got many examples of advanced devotees. Still, there are in India. You will find in Vrindavan and in other places. Actually, they have no means, simply depending. They take their bath in the Yamuna and sit down and chant Hare Krishna. There are still such devotees, but everything is going on. Okay. So that is Shanta, completely depending on God. That is the highest stage of devotional life. Vasudevaha Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. There are many stories and many incidences, and that's a fact that, as it is said by Bhagavan, Bhoktyaaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloke Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. Prabhu, can you just scroll down? Okay, Bhagavad Gita 5.29. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. He is a well-wisher, friend of everyone. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. If we actually believe in Vasudeva Krishna, that he is friend of everyone, and why is he not my friend? Everyone means I'm included also.
Yeah, you see this. So that's the point. So one might say, well, Prabhu, is not that I don't have faith in Krishna maintaining, maybe I don't have faith in myself. Well, here, Krishna is the friend of everyone. And why he's not my friend? So the point is, Prabhupada always says, Krishna is providing for elephants, he's providing for ants. What are these elephants and ants doing in service to Krishna? Are they qualified to be? So still, even because they're part and parcel of Krishna, they're qualified to be maintained by the Lord. So there's nobody that's not qualified to be maintained by the Lord. So if one understands that these elephants and these birds and whatever, they are getting what they need without extra effort, so why would Krishna not maintain me even more if I'm engaged in his preaching service? Is it not? So this kind of faith, when there is this faith, then Bhagavad Bhakti begins. When we take up this instruction of Krishna very seriously. So, and then okay, I just try to catch up to where I want to get. This is the beginning of Mahatma, sa Mahatma Sudulabaha. So Mahatma's business is Ananyas Chintayam Tomam Ye Janaha Parupasate. A Mahatma has no other business than devotional service. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Always hearing about the Supreme Lord. So I think there was like another place where Prabhupada says even surrender with one's family, or maybe it was from a different lecture, a different anyway, but still, you have seen even my means of livelihood. That was a very catchy phrase for me. That Prabhupada says lively, the livelihood. To give up, I give up everything, even my livelihood, I give up. So you can see that really that lecture made me ponder upon, okay, should I surrender, become full-time Grihastha preacher like that? And somehow that made it, Okay, now you can, yes, Saikarthi Prabhu, you can ask your question.
Prabhu, so basically, if I understood it correct, so this position of Shanti or like actual clarity in mind and like peacefulness comes only after one has left his tendency for like karma and jnana. So that means only after one comes to the stage of Madhyamadikari, he can actually be completely peaceful in mind, right? And because in the Kanishta stage, it is known that he always has a tendency to maybe speculate or maybe have some karmi tendencies. Still, maybe will
Yeah.
be there.
So
Is that so?
the you see the Prabhupada quoted Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Samahatma Sudulabha, to speak about real Shanti. So real peace actually belongs to the Mahabhagavata. He has 10% real peace. Now the Madhyamadikari, he will accept disturbing circumstances for the sake of preaching. So still some disturbance will be there because he's still in duality, because he sees devotee and non-devotee. So that's not Vasudeva Sarvamiti, right? If I make distinction, here is spiritual and here is material, that's not Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudeva Sarvamiti means everything is Krishna. Demons is also Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna. They're also devotee. That is Shanti. When there's nothing but Krishna, everything is Krishna, where's the question of having no peace? There's no... So you see, this boundary between spiritual and material moves as a devotee advances spiritually. The Kanishta Adhikari, it's all a mess because he accepts spiritual as material and he accepts material as spiritual. So not only is he in duality, but he's not capable of properly segregating. Yeah? The Madhyamadikari, at least, although he's in duality, he's properly distinguishing. Here's demon, here's offender, or here's innocent, here's devotee, here's Krishna. So at least his conception is properly organized to be an impetus for further spiritual advancement. But the Uttamadhikari, there's no more separation like that. There's no question of material. Renouncement of the material conception of life is the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says in one of the purport of the Gita. That's it. The pure devotee has reached a stage where there's nothing but Vasudeva. Everything is Vasudeva. So real peace belongs to him only. You see? But definitely a Madhyamadhikari feels much less disturbed than a Kanishta, because yes, he's not entangled with all this karma and jnana. Karma, jnana, navritam. So he's above that. He's not performing these devotional activities for any karma mixed with karma mishra bhakti, jnana mishra bhakti, right? Karma mixed with devotion, jnana, devotion mixed with dhyan, like that, impersonal dhyan. Okay. So peacefulness is a property of the Mahabhagavata especially. But you see, but the Uttamadhikari, he knows that yes, Krishna is there and he will provide. That much faith at least he has. He's in that Krishna will take care, don't worry. And that is hopefulness, right? This is one of the aspects of Sharanagati, right? How to surrender. Where to find this? Who can quote? Where to find this, the different aspect of surrendering? Right?
Prabhu, I think it's in Madhya Leela, I think 22.200 or 22 or something close to that. I think Dimitri Prabhu knows exactly, but I think it's 22.200.
Let's see. Okay, 200 is not there. Maybe it's linked with other verses. Let's go to the whole chapter. Let's see. Okay, yeah. 22,100. So you were close. You had the 2 zeros.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, very good. Good. That's nice, I'm happy when I see all of you learning shlokas, and that's good. Most of you are still quite young. It's not that I'm not young, but I mean 30, 35 now. If you're in your 20s and all, push for remembering these shlokas. You got the very fertile brain. So okay, so here it is. Okay, let's make it a thing that everybody tonight will remember the shloka. Madhya 22,100. It's a very easy number, right? Madhya
Yes, Prabhu.
22,100. This is a very important verse because this is what surrendering is. The 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service, the rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give protection. See that? So that is, and the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian and master, full surrender and humility. So these 2 things here, the conviction, and how you can get these 2 things if you still work. I don't, how can you get to that? Because if you know that Krishna will protect you, then why do you need to also save the money to protect yourself in case of, right? And then the acceptance of the Lord as one guardian and master. Well, we take salary from someone else. We accept the salary from our boss. So he's not really fully our guardian and master, the Lord, right? Our guardian is our boss. So these are the 6 characteristics. So 22,100, 22,100, 22,100. Let's remember this. So, okay, there's one more question by Saikarti. Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, the thing is that, like, so even like, okay, for example, I'm 19 now. So, and my plan is like, I don't want to work, but let's see, I don't know. I do not know. But the fact is that whether I become very strong or I'm still a neophyte, the fact of the matter is that no matter the stage of the devotee, Krishna will still provide, because in the verse it's given that like Krishna is a friend to all. So for those who are maybe chanting his name or maybe putting
Yeah,
him,
but a friend, okay, I'll stop you there before you continue. A friend means I'm doing what is good for you. So if Krishna decides that not giving to you is good, he will do that too, isn't it?
yes, sure.
So because one might, you see, if I surrender in knowledge that I know that I should preach and Krishna will maintain, that is correct. If I stop working because I don't like to work, that's not correct. Right? Everybody should be engaged in his own occupational duty. So if one just doesn't like working and he wants to become a lazy bum and not do anything, then that's not good. He should keep working. You see, because work, at least when you go to work, you engage in some activities. So that's the mode of passion. That's better than the mode of ignorance, that you stay at home and pluck your nose and watch TV, right? And you become one of those hippie, right? So then that's not good. So therefore, Varnashram Dharma means everybody needs some engagement. So that the devil, idle mind is a devil's workshop, right? So instead of just staying at home and saying, oh no, I'm a preacher, but actually you're not doing anything, and so that's not good. So work should be there, and then you use 50% is the gold standard. You use 50% of that work to give it as donation, like that. So that's good. That will help you progress. But artificial renunciation is not good. But still, because Prabhupada is speaking these things, we should try to work our way up towards this. Yes, again, Saikarti.
Prabhu, the thing is, I was asking, okay, yeah, even if one has to work, yeah, so better to be in the mode of passion than in ignorance. But even if one has to work, he does not have to work extremely hard. So he has to work for the sake of mere maintenance, because either way, anything that's going to come to him is according to his karma. So why
Yes.
to maybe work very hard? Maybe he can just choose. Maybe if he gets two offers, one is like seemingly they'll pay much more, and one they'll seemingly pay much less. But at the end of 10 years, if he's still working, according to his karma only, he's gonna earn. So he can choose the one with less
Okay.
distraction and less
Now
work hours, right?
my question to you, if everything comes according to one's karma, then why work at all?
Because to whatever karma is there, little work is required to push it, right? Just to like let it roll.
Okay, all right. So yeah, that's close to the answer, yes. Actually, if you stop working artificially, you're not actually renouncing, and you give up your duty as a worker due to inconvenience. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that is renunciation in ignorance, right? So if you renounce in ignorance, then you will create reactions in the mode of ignorance. So that's not good. The whole point here is to become freed from the reactions of passion and ignorance, at least in the beginning, and to be situated in the mode of goodness. So that's how we have to see things. Not by income, money, not money. All these things is very bewildering. We see only the surface. We see only the immediate cause. Oh, money's coming there. It's not how it works. There's contamination of the modes at play that are very subtle and going on. So we have to become freed from passion and ignorance. And if I stop working, everything is according to my karma, I'll just lie down and no, you are still bound up by your karma, and you're creating future bad karma by lying down in bed. And that's going to become, even worse actually, because any false renunciation will degrade. If I'm not ready to accept a higher position of more advancement in Krishna consciousness, and I artificially try to make a show of this, I will degrade further. We've seen that with, Prabhupada's sannyasis that were not ready to take sannyas. Many of them, Prabhupada said, don't take sannyas, and they took. What happened? They went with girls later on. So boom. We see that with the hippies. The hippies, they renounced the hard work and everything that their parents had done. The parents were great capitalists making a lot of money, and the hippies, no, I don't want this materialistic lifestyle. But because they didn't have anything else to accept better, they became much worse than their parents, right? At least the parents, they were married, they had some job, the household was going on somehow. But then those hippies, they became some bum in the street, drug addict and sex addict. So even worse. So the same thing is here in our Krishna consciousness movement. If one doesn't have this faith, he's not ready to become actually preacher. He doesn't have this mood, this desire to actually push this movement. And he just gives up his job because he's lazy, and he just goes on the some country, they have got this government support, right? You do some story like, my mind is so bad, I cannot work, and then they'll give you some money monthly, right? Well, what's gonna happen? You're just gonna degrade. That's not gonna be good for your Krishna consciousness. Actually, best thing is that you minimize your workload, you keep working, and you use some money to give to the temple, to give to Krishna. That will actually make you happy, and progress spiritually. But still, Prabhupada does give this class, and you see how Prabhupada gives his classes. He always speaks to all sorts of devotees. He knows that some devotees will be ready for that, and some will not. And therefore, in his class, he spoke to both. I don't know if you noticed. He said, first thing, oh yes, I ring the bell, and I keep some money in the bank in case of Krishna failing to maintain me. So then he's speaking to push those devotees who are ready to surrender. But then later on, he said, of course, we are not so advanced as this, and so on, so on, so on. So then the other devotee who's not ready for that, he will highlight that. Oh, we're not so advanced. Oh, okay. I don't need to surrender. Okay, all right then. And that will speak to him, because if you push too much, some devotees, they'll what? They'll crack, finish, right? And then that's going to be even worse. So Prabhupada knows. He pushes, and at the same time, he also protects those who are not ready for it. But my point is that we have to come to that stage at one point. So yes, diminishing workload, that is definitely there. Prabhupada said, actually, I saw a quote. Prabhupada said, not more than 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That is like the maximum that Prabhupada allowed. So, Patita Pavan Prabhu, you're burning 2 hours over. So, there was this quote, Prabhupada, I heard that somewhere because Prabhupada knew that was kind of the most jobs they will force you, right, to work that much. So somehow I think Prabhupada kind of, was all right with this, like maximum, but then you have to give donation also. Okay, we'll go to Patita Pavan Prabhu, and then we'll go in the comment section, try to catch up. I think there's a lot of comments. So yes, Patita Pavan Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, when Sandhoba Prabhu was in Mumbai, he showed me two references from Bhagavatam, and the first one is 9465.
Sorry about this.
When Sandhoba Prabhu was in Mumbai, he showed me two verses from Srimad Bhagavatam for full-time devotees. First one is 9465 in Srimad Bhagavatam.
465. Okay. So for full time, right? You mean full time versus?
Yeah, full time. Like who wants to surrender to Krishna, and he's thinking how he will manage.
Yeah. Okay, you can read. Can you read?
Yeah. Since
Yes,
pure
sir.
devotees give up their homes, wives, children, relatives, riches, and even their lives simply to serve me without any desire for material improvement in this life or in the next, how can I give up such devotee at any time?
Very nice. Yeah. So that summarizes what Prabhupada was speaking in that class, right? So if you're surrendering everything for the sake of preaching, even the wife, the children, the relative, the money you have, simply to serve Krishna, then how Krishna will give up such devotee? So that's a very good verse for summarizing. You have another one that Prabhu gave?
It is 8547.
You can read.
Karmis are always anxious to accumulate wealth for their sense gratification, but for that purpose they must work very hard. Yet even though they work hard, the results are not satisfying. Indeed, sometimes their work results only frustration. But devotees who have dedicated their lives to the service of Lord can achieve sustainable results without working very hard. These results exceed the devotees' expectations.
Yes, that's a fact, and that I have experienced. You see, when I was working, I was anxious to accumulate wealth. For, of course, some part of it is sense gratification, I guess. When you're in family life, there has to be a minimum of this, and but for that purpose, they must work very hard. So I was trying to work very hard. I was doing a bit like you, working big hours every day, but then I became so much disturbed. Yet, even though you work hard, the results are not satisfying. Yes, I was not satisfied at all, and I was just increasing my unhappiness. Indeed, sometimes their work results only in frustration, definitely. But devotees who have dedicated their lives to the service of the Lord can achieve substantial results without working very hard. These results exceed the devotee's expectation. So since I decided to become full-time again with my family and all, I got more material opulence than I did while working. Like I have this computer here, which is a very good MacBook Pro. I didn't pay for that. It came to me somehow. I have these 2 cameras that I have. I have good, headset. In my household before, I mean to say, since I surrender, we cook with ghee. I was seeing like things in the house much more opulent than how I used to be while I was working. And if one surrenders and lives next to the temple, how he eats every day, practically speaking, it's a feast every day. Temple life means like feasting every day. And because prasadam is always so nice. So you've got this, and so Krishna would give you more than what you actually ask for. And I saw this, anytime, because I'm doing this video service, and sometimes I had this desire that, okay, now I think I need a new camera because I want to. And every time the desire came, the result came. Like, I desired something, I want a new camera for service, I got it. At one point, I had this old iPhone 6, and I was thinking, wow, this is so slow, how to reply devotee like that. And just a few weeks later, I got the iPhone. At that time, iPhone 12 was the most recent one. And I was like, wow, this is so fast. I can do much more with this. So when you surrender, you will see how Krishna arranges. I told this story in one of my vlogs. When I wanted to surrender, I did not know. I wanted to go near the Matajis in China. They used to live in a very expensive place. The rent there was 5,000 yuan a month. That was the cheapest. Altogether, it was like 1,000 US a month, and you're not working. Where is that going to come from? So there's this devotee who rings me from America. I never spoke him before. He says, I would like to help you out. How can I help? I've seen your vlogs. I'm saying, well, we need a rent. I need to go live near the Mataji. Say, I'll sponsor 1 year of rent for you. Just like that, it came, and so many things. It happened again and again and again, and that's why now when this money issue, even most recently, I got a fine here in Australia. I drove too fast, and I got arrested by the police. I was sending back Mahaprabhu and his family to the airport so that they can go back to Singapore. So I got caught by the police. Somehow I was not looking at the speed limit, and anyway, and the police catch me, and then it was just before Christmas, and so that means they fined twice as much. The fine is double. I don't know why, and he fined me for something. Anyway, the fine is 1,600 Australian dollars. That's the same as Singapore dollars. It's about 1,200 US for speeding. It's insane, right?
Yes,
So
bro, it's too much.
it's crazy. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, I don't work. And now I have to pay this 1,200. And not only that, I'm gonna have to pay my ticket back to China. I'm gonna have to pay. So I have to tell you that yes, my faith shook a little bit, because I just became somehow. How can I say? Krishna proved to me again and again that he was always there and that he always provided money for my family. But in that case, I started to doubt whether I was worthy of this continuous, because now, okay, I've broken the law, maybe it's my fault. And so I started to have doubt in myself that am I sincere? Am I still sincere in this devotional service? Am I still really trying to preach, or I'm trying to? So Maya got me, basically, I got bewildered. And even though I lacked faith in the Lord still sent the money somehow. You see? So my point is that even though we might lack faith in him, he's not going to be lacking faith in us. He's going to keep trying to encourage us, because he knows that we're struggling, and he knows that we're very small, and that and the money came somehow or other. There was arrangement and all. I spoke with Sunagopa Prabhu, and then the devotees here, they got some ideas that we start to make samosas, and the money came in. So just like that. Now, 1 day a week on Thursday, we make 100 samosas, and the Prabhu and Mataji, they sell it at their shop, and we get some money coming in, and so many other things like that happen. You see, and of course, the devotees are always very merciful. When we asked also for, some donation in the KI group concerning our trip to the Fiji, I had to bring my whole family to extend our stay 3 months, and it worked somehow. So the point is that if you're sincere, if you really want to be trying your best, the everything will come. But if you're insincere and you just want to be cheating Krishna, then yeah, he might stop the flow of water to make you thirsty. The point is that, because at one point Prabhupada said, I heard that from Karunamai Mataji, I don't know where she heard it, Prabhupada said that I like to keep my devotees in debts because that gives them a drive, you know. So like, for example, if you're running a temple, you got some debts, then you gotta think of ways, right? Prabhupada said, necessity is the mother of invention. So when you're in necessity, when you're in a struggle that you need, then you start to work. The hamsters start to run, right? And then okay, I need some ideas how to do. So sometimes that's a good motivation for those who need a push in the neophyte stage, you know. So anyway, the point is this: I'm speaking about my own realization, my own experience is that Krishna is there and he's going to be providing. So why work separately? You know, it's very much. But it's not every one of us who can give up directly. But definitely, if I was single, I would just join the temple full time. There would be no second thought. Okay, now we'll go in the comment section. We'll try to catch up because we're 1 hour 40 minutes already. So, okay, let me see. So Hare Krishna to all the devotees who have joined. So Saurav Sahu Prabhu, is he still here? Saurav, yeah, Prabhu is still here. Saurav Prabhu is still here. So he says, where is that? Sorry. Prabhuji, what is Namabhas? What is Chaya Namabhas and Pratipimba Namabhas? Okay, that's a very big topic. I don't think we have time to get into that. Namabhas means a dim reflection of the pure name. It's a Namabhas offenses are still going on, but it is not Namaparad stage. There's Namaparad, Namabhas, and Shuddhanam. Okay, so Namabhas is somewhere between the offensive chanting and the pure chanting. So it's not the chanting of the holy name purely, but at the same time is not completely filled with anarthas. It's a midway. And Namabhas alone can give one mukti, actually. If you want to, if you think that it's a nice thing to merge into Brahman effulgence, then you just chant Namabhas and you're going there. Chanting by lying down in bed, is it offensive? If you have a choice, yes. If you have no choice, no. If you cannot stand, somehow you're too sick, then it's not offensive. Srila Prabhupada said that whatever we do after 10 p.m., yeah, okay, so that's where we were. And Satyam Prabhu then said about his day shifting. Saikarti Prabhu, sometimes I want to bomb. Okay, here's the bomb. Dimitri Prabhu, my parents think we are escapists from work, egoistic because we want to take of ourselves only and don't want to maintain our dependence. Yeah. Concerning this, where is it that I read very recently? There was something about that. Escapist, you know, intelligence. I think is yeah, okay, I think it's yesterday. I gave a class to my son, and there was a story about that. How they yeah, okay, it's the, if you want, I can share that little story for children. But it's I mean, it's a story from that Prabhupada says, right? So where is that? Is it here? Probably Srila Prabhupada. You know how Srila Prabhupada said, okay, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna be having some cartoon. I'm pretty sure you've heard that. Maybe some of you have heard that story before. Right. How to share this? I'll share the whole screen. Are you seeing this? Waiting elephant?
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh yes, Prabhu. I remember.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so once in the kingdom, the ministers got together and complained about their colleague Ramdas. So the three ministers are here. Your Majesty, you always listen to Ramdas. We are also very intelligent. We too should also be given a chance to show our wisdom. The king is thinking, they are simply envious of Ramdas. Let me give them a challenge. Then they will know how intelligent Ramdas is. Surely the king is equal to everyone. One day, my dear ministers, I want to know the weight of Kalu, the biggest elephant of our kingdom. Can you please tell me within 3 days? Kalu is so huge, it's impossible to weight him on even the biggest weighting scale available. So foolish of our king to ask for Kalu's weight. So these people represents the karmis, After 3 days, the ministers return. Your Majesty, it's simply not possible to wait Kalu, as we don't have such large scale in our kingdom. Oh, none of you are able to tell me the weight of Kalu. Let me ask Ramdas. Ramdas, I want you to calculate the weight of Kalu. After a short time, Ramdas returned. My Majesty, Kalu weighs exactly 21 mounds. He's telling lies. How is it possible to weight Kalu? He always fakes. Let him prove it. Yes, Ramdas. How did you do it? We don't have any scale so big that we can weight Kalu. No, sir, I did not use any weighting scale. I took it on a boat. Then when we got him on the boat, I saw the watermark and marked it. Then after getting the elephant off the boat, I added weight onto the boat. Yeah. Some of these gurus, they've got like duplex and they've got some very nice apartments. Yeah, Debale Prabhu, sometimes I can't believe this kind of deviation. I think I'll share the screen itself so we can read together. Okay. Is it showing? This is infinite window, right? You're seeing now, right? Okay. But if I do like this, this is okay. So Dimitri Prabhu is saying this purport is directly related to that letter about road show in Yoga Village. No need of such things. Otherwise, nonsense filler would be attracted to the movement. Yeah, the purport that we read. Exactly. Prabhupada, actually, this Yoga Village, this road show was attracting hundreds and thousands of people throughout the whole country, literally. It was so successful from a materialistic point of view. And one can easily argue, well, hundreds of thousands of people are chanting Hare Krishna. So what is but Prabhupada said, no, shut it down. So we're not much about the quantity, it's about the quality. Yes, social club. Yeah. I go to ISKCON on Sunday. I put my most shiny pink kurta, and I grace my hair with the best oil, and then I fake it, and I see how many Matajis are looking at me. They're doing like self-praising dog. Yeah, so I praise you, you praise me. Well, maybe not dog society, we have to still be respectful. They're devotees. Anybody who comes to Krishna somehow or other, we have to be respectful. But the point is that offenses are there, and that's what we have to point out,
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah. I used to chant Shanti, 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 thinking that gives me peace. Yes. This is what the Mayavad, they teach this mantra, Shanti, Shanti.
Yes,
As if saying peace, peace, peace. As if saying it in Sanskrit is more powerful than in English.
yes, I really thought like this.
Yeah, you see? Like it's the same thing as you sit down on your couch, you say peace, peace, peace. How is peace gonna come this way? Debalai Nandi is saying, sometimes this anatta are so subtle that we don't even realize it until we read it many times. For example, applying tilak. While applying tilak, when we become attached to our so-called face, we don't even realize sometimes when we read too much, we think, oh, I know so many things and other problems like this. So yes, this anartha is there because offensive chanting is going on. Once that one comes at least to the namabas stage where he's almost free from offense, these anarthas will diminish greatly. Because how does these anarthas get watered? Okay, the bhakti lata is there, right? Bhakti lata. All this you should study those bhakti lata verses from the CC, the Creeper Devotional Service. It very clearly explained that. When we water the devotional creeper through what? Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting about Krishna. So this chanting, hearing, attending lectures, all of this, it's watering the creeper. Now, when we do these things with offense, Prabhupada explains in those purports that the watering is being misused, which means that the water is being poured over those unwanted creepers. What are those unwanted creepers? They're unlimited in names, puja, labha, pratishta, all these things. You want fame, you want money, you want women, whatever. So these anarthas for name and fame are being watered when offensive chanting is there. And that is growing in. So that means what? That means that this kind of chanting, like that Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. What you're doing, you are increasing your desire for wealth, your desire for fame, your desire for whatever it is. Everybody has this specific type of anartha. You are increasing that literally. It's scientifically, shown in the Shastra that you are going to be having more of these desires from bhakti. Because bhakti can also bring these things. When you advance spiritually, naturally you will get famous. Naturally, you will be more attractive, because the devotees' knowledge is attractive, right? If you become more, so many verses, people are going to be like, oh, you're such a pandit, and so on. So these things, if you start to try to enjoy these things, then that's the trap, right? So that's the distinction between the Kanishta stage and the Madhyam stage. At the Madhyam stage, the Madhyama Adhikari doesn't care for all these stuff. Of course, Krishna will keep testing. The test will still be there, because to not be puffed up, when you have like 10 cents, and to not be puffed up when you have 10 billion, it's a totally different ball game. It's very easy to not be puffed up when you have 10 cents, but to not be puffed up when you owe $10 billion, that's real humility, right? So as you progress in devotional service and you're still not proud, this is the test. So Prabhu gave some very nice verses concerning this pride, how to not become proud. Okay, that's another topic. I don't want to deviate too much from this. Okay, so then you're saying these anarthas are so subtle, applying tilak, and if we continue doing these things, even after 1 trillion year, we will not be liberated. So what to do? Only doing our sadhana sincerely, following Prabhupada order, or anything else? Yeah, the thing is that every one of us starts with anarthas. Anarthas are there for sure. There's no doubt about that. But by continuing the chanting, continuing the process, they will leave. They will go away. So what we need to do, first of all, keep the process going on, the sadhana, waking up early, chanting Hare Krishna, reading Prabhupada books, eating Krishna Prasadam, hearing lectures. If you do that constantly and you're careful for not being offensive, 3 types of offense. Seva parad, nama parad, Vaishnava parad. 3 types of offense. Okay. This Vaishnava parad is the most destructive. Then this nama parad is also very dangerous. And this seva parad is the one that the Lord is more lenient on, especially if we worship Gaura Nitai. Gaura Nitai are very merciful, so they tolerate a lot of seva parad. Okay, Radha Krishna is more strict though. We have to be careful, especially for seva parad more. But the nama parad and the Vaishnava parad, we have to be mindful. Am I chanting with offenses? So therefore, every single day, the 10 offenses against the holy name, they're recited in the morning. We have to double check ourselves. Are we doing any of these things? Did I offend any Vaishnava? You see, in Prabhupada's program, we ask forgiveness. We try to protect ourselves from the deep types of aparad. In deity worship, when we put the deities to sleep, actually in the morning, when we finish deity puja, bathing the deity and all, strictly speaking, we're supposed to speak out the forgiveness, Mantrahinam kriyahitam bhaktihinam janardana yat pujitam mayadeva paripurnam tarastume. There's a prayer to ask forgiveness for all the seva parad committed during the worship. And the same thing has to be recited at night. After we put the Lord to sleep, again, we have to recite this prayer to ask forgiveness for all the offenses, because we commit offenses in seva parad. There's no doubt about it. That prayer, there's a part of that prayer. Mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktihinam janardana pujitam mayadeva paripurnam anyway, there's a part in that prayer that says, every day I'm committing hundreds of thousands of offenses. So that's not exaggeration. That's literally true, because so many offenses are there. Every second we might just being in front of the deity and not accepting that this is Krishna directly is offensive itself. So what to speak of everything else? So there's hundreds of thousands of offenses that we do, and we ask forgiveness for that. So that's for seva parad. Then nama parad. Every morning we're supposed to recite the 10 offenses. That's a good thing if you can incorporate you yourself also in the morning. When you finish Tulasi Arti, you normally in the temple is what? Chanting before Mangalarti, Narasimha Arti, Tulasi Arti. After Tulasi Arti, reading from the Nectar of Devotion. And before Nectar of Devotion, you chant the Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipunau Sadharma Samstapako, one of the verse of the Goswami Ashtakam. Then you read a bit of Nectar of Devotion. After that is Shishi Shikshashtakam, Cheto Darpanamal Janam, then English translation. And after that is 10 offenses. Bahu Janma Kare Yadi Shravana Kirtam. You can say that verse before. If one is infested with the 10 offenses, they're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name from any birth, he will never attain the love of Godhead, which is the ultimate goal of this chanting. And then you recite the 10 offenses. And after 10 offenses, what is that? So 10 offenses, you protect yourself from Namaparad. And after that is let us offer respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. So you protect yourself from Vaishnava Parad. So in the whole program, you're supposed to be protecting yourself from the 3 types of offenses. You see? That's why, Prabhupada doesn't put these things without reason, right? So, okay, so you just keep doing the program and you'll be fine, Prabhu. You just keep associating with devotees, because in those verses in the CC concerning offenses, that the water is being misplaced, and how to protect the elephant of offense to come in. We have to fence the creeper. What is those fences? Association with devotees. If we associate with devotees, senior devotees, we are protected. That's the key. That's the key factor, Everything rotates around that. That is the most important thing. What is that? Most important aspect. Wait, I had read that just recently. 8 to 48. Sorry. Where is that? Sorry. That's not. What is it praying for? Anyway, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking, is in that same conversation with Ramananda Rai. He was asking, what is the best welfare, and to associate with devotees. It was this question. Anyway, I'm not finding now. We are running late a bit, already 2 hours in. Okay, Varun, I've been seeing your hand up, but just one moment. I just want to go a bit through those comments. Debalai Nandi is saying, so Prabhu, my motive is to preach full-time because I hate this material jobs, because I cannot preach Krishna consciousness freely there. And when it comes maintaining my body, so I think if I live with devotees, I will manage that. I don't know how I will be by the mercy of Acharya. So is it a good motive or something bad? Yes, it is a very good motive. You want to be preaching. But one thing important that we have not touched yet in this class is that surrender is a blessing. It's not an act of ourselves. It's not that I'm going to surrender to Krishna. It's not like that. We desire so, and Krishna will make the arrangements. It's not us who are going to be surrendering to the Lord. The word surrender is the mood, is the desire. We surrender in the desire, and the manifestation of that desire, that's up to Krishna. We don't know how to surrender. That's not up to us. You see, how did Sanatana Goswami surrender? Was it his doing? No, it wasn't. He had the desire, then he got cut by the king, right? The Muslim king. He was in prison and so on. And then somehow there was the gold, and later on somehow he tried to bribe the jailman, whatever, the warden, and then there was something going on, so he kept, hopefully he had kept that money, and then so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the one who brought him to surrender to him, but he had the desire to surrender to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when we see how the devotees are surrendering from the Shastra, it's not out of their own accord, it's out of Krishna's accord. He will make the surrendering happening. So therefore we should have the desire to surrender, and we should pray, my dear Lord, please force me to surrender. I don't know how to do so, please help me. If you pray like that, Krishna will do it. He will help you, no doubt. Google is asking, is the session being recorded? He's asking Sami Prabhu. And then you're saying Nimai Prabhu knows. Anyway, who is Google? Google. Thank you all for the association. Hare Krishna, really enjoyed. So I think this Vinod Kuti left. Nimai Prabhu is saying yes, it's being recorded. Okay. Nimai Prabhu is saying, I remember how you were preparing for installing the DTs and you needed some sand and you found it, the package. One of the vivid moments I watched in your vlog. Yeah, that moment fills me with goosebumps when I think about it again, you know. For those of you who don't know, at one point I had to do some DT installation ceremony. I wanted to do it on Balaram. Was it Balaram Jayanti? I think so. And it had rained so much, which means that all the sand that you can find around in parks or construction sites would be wet. So I was like, where can I find some sand? And I was actually filming, I was vlogging at the very same time. And I'm like, okay, I have to go out, I have to find some sand. And as I'm vlogging, I see I get out of my compound, my building apartment, and I go in the minus first floor in the car park. And then I see like bags of sand there. I was like, what is this? And I was so bewildered, like I was so confused that I tasted it. I thought, no, it must be like some bags of brown sugar. You know, it's not possible that it's sand. So I actually tasted it. I was like, oh, it's sand. So you can see it, you know, it's in the DT installation ceremony. I think I did like 2 or 3 episodes on that. And I was just, wow, like bag of sand, like delivered right there at the store. Of course, it's someone else's sand, like, but you know, the arrangement was just too perfect. I could not take it, and I just took like I think 2. There was a couple there. I took what I needed, and there you go. And that whole DT installation ceremony was so, wow, so magic. I still remember how everything occurred like right on time, and I really pushed myself. You know, I really pushed. I was always on my scooter going to buy this, buy that. I only had like 2-3 days to prepare the whole thing and learn the whole ceremony procedure. I asked Talved Prabhu, you know, he told me, yeah, do the full installation. I'm like, okay, all by myself. And then, of course, the Matajis, they came and helped. But everything, and rainbows after rainbows, you know, rainbows all over our garden. Then the DT installation happened, and shower, you know, right when the fire yagya finished, big shower of rain. It was just so magic. Everything was just, wow, Nimai Nitai have come to China, you know. It was really unbelievable. But this is a very, very nice time. Okay, okay, I'll share again those. Sorry, I'm trying to go fast. So, Saikarti Prabhuji, will you be coming to India soon? I don't know if I was. We have to see now because of this whole Khalistan issue. Canada harboring some Khalistan supporter. It's hard to get visa for Canadians. Prabhu, how to judge oneself if he's sincere or he's trying to cheat Krishna? Because in their mind, everyone thinks they are sincere, but how to judge ourselves? Yeah, this is a good question. Yeah. Yeah. One moment. So I've got a couple of quotes concerning that, but there's one. Okay. Okay, so this question was asked actually by one devotee, and I think it was in a letter. I cannot find it now. Srila Prabhupada said, I can see that you're doubting your sincerity, but if your desire is to attain topmost love of God, then how you cannot be sincere? You see, if our desire to perform this devotional service is to develop love of Godhead and to reawaken our relationship with Krishna, then that is sincerity. If we do this devotional service for something else, then there's a lack of sincerity. And of course, there's some other quotes are there, you see. So this is 113:27. One should therefore practice devotional service at home, hearing and chanting the holy name, quality, form, pastime, and Torah, etc., in association with pure devotees. And this practice will help one awaken God consciousness in proportion to one's sincerity of purpose. So according to how much sincere we are, we are going to be advancing spiritually. But the thing is that even though we might not be 100% sincere, because devotional service is so purifying, our sincerity will sprout. You see, just like Dhruva Maharaj, he went to Krishna without much knowledge, and therefore he was not very sincere in what he wanted. But later on, he regretted that I came for material benefit, but now I got the most precious jewel. So no matter why you start devotional service, at least you should be sincerely trying to improve yourself. It is a fact, however, that for a sincere person, devotional service is very easy. But for one who is not determined and sincere, this process is very difficult. So we all, to some degree, lack some sincerity. Are we actually trying to please Krishna perfectly, or trying to get something out of devotional service? The word cha may be used in place of api, which gives emphasis to something. Thus, it means that without sincere endeavor in devotional service, one cannot attain love of Godhead. That's Madhya 24, 171. And 172 says, devotional perfection is very difficult to attain for two reasons. First, unless one is attached to Krishna, he cannot attain devotional perfection, even if he renders devotional service for a long time. Second, Krishna does not easily deliver perfection in devotional service. You see, so to attain the topmost platform is not something easy. It's only the most sincere amongst us, those who are very greedy to attain Krishna, that will succeed, at least in this lifetime. So, but if you are taking guidance from devotee and you're actually trying your best to apply those instructions in your life, then there's no question of you not being sincere. So don't be too harsh on yourself. Just do what you can, the best you can. Saraf Prabhu said, Prabhuji, is Nam Sankirtan is the highest expression of devotional service? If yes, then why people of other ages didn't practice it, or why it's not revealed on other ages? Yeah, that's also another topic. But yes, it's the perfection to chant the holy name. And it's not that it was not practiced. The way the Sankirtan Yagya that is shown by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is revealed, especially in this age, yeah. But the chanting of the holy name is there in other ages also. Like Dhruva Maharaj, he was chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The demigods, they chant the Purusha Shukta. Right? So to chant the holy name of God is always there from the very beginning, Satya Yuga. It's just that the way that it's revealed now, the Namas and Kirtana, yes, that's the special mercy of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why it said this Kali Yoga is an ocean of fault. But there's one good thing, is that the Harinam Sankirtan is here in this stage especially. So actually, from that angle, we're very fortunate to be here. Ravi Singh, Prabhuji, ISKCON gives salary. They say boldly they don't do that. They say boldly they don't do that. Who says that? This is the page is there, right? All the salary and all. And actually, I had found something else on the GBC website also about salaries. So it's there. Sai Karti Prabhu is saying, second class devotee chants Shuddhanam, Prabhuji. Second class devotee, he will not be chanting Shuddhanam. It's possible that he, how can I say that? I don't want to speculate. The thing is that second class devotee developed taste for chanting the holy name. You see, he has got taste. That much is there. That means that the offenses are practically almost all gone. Because with offenses, there's no taste. But when one attains second class platform, the taste is there. But he doesn't chant the name that the pure devotee is chanting. The pure devotee always chants Shuddhanam, whereas the Madhyamadikari might chant it sometimes. So, because first of all, what are the symptoms of chanting Shuddhanam, right? Those verses are there in the Bhagavatam. Unless that heart is still framed. If by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he doesn't get his hair standing and the tears, that is Shuddhanam. So if you chant Hare Krishna and you're getting this, that means somehow or other the Shuddhanam has been chanted. Now we have to be careful of the fake tears and the fake acting. Yeah? So sometimes this reflection of bhava can be there even in neophyte devotees by the mercy of the pure devotee. But then it disappears. It's not constant, But it's a fact that if one chants Shuddhanam, he should be having tears. He should be, feeling very feelingly in the heart. This is what should be happening. So the pure devotee is always chanting like that. just to conclude that.
Once I heard in some lecture, maybe Sundar Gopal Prabhu's lecture, that the person who is chanting like this and having tears, he himself doesn't notice the tears. So if the person is like noticing them and starting to like wiping them, and is that, can it be a sign of faking it if the person is like himself conscious of the pain?
The thing is, the focus when one chants actually Shuddhanam, if one is actually on the platform of chanting, then his whole consciousness is in Krishna. He's thinking of Krishna. So it's not that he's conscious of himself, how he's acting. Whereas an actor, he's focused on himself. He thinks that I'm becoming liberated. You see, oh,
Yes.
now I have attained transcendental ecstasy. Now I am merging into the spiritual existence. Look at me, how great and liberated I am. So that's the cheating of the sahajas, and they do this so-called ecstasy and so on. So, but those tears, yeah, if someone is actually on this level, this is simply a symptom. It's not. It comes, it comes naturally, right? It's not something that will be acted upon.
Yes, Prabhu.
Now, taste for chanting. Okay, somehow I cannot. But yeah, so the second class devotee has developed a taste for chanting. And that means preacher, because without preaching, there's no question of developing a real taste for chanting. This is there, Prabhupada says. Here, you can see. Okay, if the thing is that if there's too many questions going to different subject matter, it's hard to sort of stay focused, but it's okay. Experienced. Okay, here you can see how Prabhupada is ending. Oh yeah, Varun still has got this question. Okay, here. We have learned from our Guru Maharaj that preaching is very, very important. And when one is actually an experienced preacher, then he's able to chant Hare Krishna mantra without any offense. Before that, this so-called chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, you may practice without any offenses and giving up all of the business to make a show of a big Vaishnava. That is not required. Thank you very much. That's how Prabhupada concluded the lecture. So you see, when one is an experienced preacher, then he's able to chant Hare Krishna without any offense. So one has to become an experienced preacher, then he's capable. But that's not a small platform, it's quite high, Like you can see Sundar Gopal Prabhu's platform. It's not cheap to get there also. Madhyama Nikari is actually quite exalted. Okay. Okay, sorry. I'll go quite fast now. So Saru, sometimes ago I listened a very mysterious explanation, that explanation about a different way to contemplate on Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I not want to share from whom I listened it, but what he said is if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra by contemplating as Gaur Gadadhar way, then it can bring mercy of Nam more sooner to us. So that is artificial, because contemplating means my own endeavor, whereas when you chant Hare Krishna properly, the form of the Lord will immediately come in the mind. It's not something that I have to force upon. Prabhupada explains this, Okay, Google, Prabhu, my name is Satyam Sharma. Sorry, Prabhu, I quickly joined from my laptop and said, okay, Satyam Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Can please provide that video link? Oh, you mean that vlog? You go in my channel, go on the link, the videos, then you scroll down all the way to about 2 years ago, and you start to see like DT installation ceremony, Gaura Nitai have arrived. So it's a sequence. There's like 3-4 episodes. You can watch those. Okay, Debalai Nani says 329:26. As the blazing fire of death, I cause great fear to whoever makes the least discrimination between himself and other living entities because of a differential outlook. Yeah, so you see, duality, right? Duality is there even in the Madhyama Adhikari's Okay, Dimitri 6949 purport. If one sincerely prays to God for material possession in exchange for devotional service, the Lord, who is not foolish like such an unintelligent devotee, shows him special favor by taking away whatever material possession he has and gradually giving him the intelligence to be satisfied only by rendering service to his lotus feet. Yes. So this is also, those verses are there in the CC or 1088.8, I think. Yeah. You know, how the Lord, that is the Lord's special mercy. He will force one to surrender. Yeah. If a Kripana, not knowing his self-interest, foolishly asks for something material, one who awards it to him is also foolish. Krishna, however, is not a foolish person. He is supremely intelligent. If someone comes to Krishna asking for material benefits, Krishna does not award him the material things he desires. Instead, the Lord gives him intelligence so that he will forget his material desires and become attached to the Lord's lotus feet. In such cases, although the Kripanya offers prayers to Lord Krishna for material things, the Lord takes away whatever material possessions the Kripanya has and gives him the sense to become a devotee. That's actually a special mercy, you know. Those verses are there in the CC. Yeah, it's not to everybody that the Lord will do that. It's a special mercy of the Lord. Okay, Nimai Prabhu is quoting from this I think Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, right? You chant, why do you seize the actions of the chanting? You know, my dear mind, when you chant japa and the mala within your mind, why do you seize the actions of chanting japa externally? Okay, I will share that. This is smashing this Jayapataka Swami, because he doesn't chant his round externally, but he says, oh, I'm so advanced, I don't need to chant. But here it says, why do you seize the actions of chanting japa externally? When one performs bhajan within the mind and prema factually arises internally, then the external body also becomes pervaded by those symptoms. Therefore, the body rocks and sways while one incessantly turns their beads in chanting japa. You see? So the actual manifestation of prema inside also manifests outside, which means that he chants on his beads incessantly. Also, that is one of the symptoms. Yeah. I have to go, sorry. So Jani Prabhu left. Hare Krishna. Okay, so that's it. We'll catch up now. Who was raising the hand? I think it was Varun Prabhu, right?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Janat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you for being patient. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Prabhuji, my question is how to overcome lust and remain celibate in Krishna consciousness.
How to overcome lust, huh?
Yes, Prabhu. And how to
That's it.
remain celibacy in Krishna consciousness.
So there is no such thing as overcoming lust, fighting lust. You will lose. The thing we have to focus on is increasing service. When you engage yourself more and more in service, naturally the tastes for sex will diminish. That was